Good afternoon. I'm Olga Kuksenok, an associate professor in material science and engineering. As a chair of the Honors and Awards Committee, I have the good fortune to welcome you to today's celebration. Before moving forward, I need to let you know that family and friends can follow this ceremony live on Twitter. We will be tweeting the awards as they are announced at Clemson Kickoff with the hashtag #TopStudents2021. You can also visit the college's Facebook and LinkedIn pages. Over the next couple of weeks, we will be featuring a series of interviews with tonight's honorees. We are sharing the links to all three social media sites in the chat feature of the Zoom call now. We are here to honor the best and the brightest in the College of Engineering, Computing, and Applied Sciences. Each awardee will receive a frame certificate. Any associated monetary prizes will be credited to the student's IROR account by April 30th. Working with the Honors and Awards Committee is a highlight for me, and I'd like to take a moment to recognize and thank the members who served this year. So this is Amin Demi, Industrial Engineering, Yani Cha, Automotive Engineering, David Bruce, Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering, Ron Andrews, Civil Engineering, Dan Simonesco, Bioengineering, Carl Baum, Electrical and Computing Engineering, Tom Ovino and David Friedman, Environmental Engineering and Earth Sciences, Sydney Lee, Engineering and Science Education, Jane Zhao, Mechanical Engineering, and James Wang, School of Computing. I now have the privilege of introducing the Dean of our college, Anand Gramapadi.
Hang on, you're muted.
Hey.
There you go.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you all hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can, because I cannot see everyone.
Yes, we can.
Yes?
Yes.
Wonderful. First and foremost, it's my distinct pleasure to extend a heartfelt greetings to our students, our fantastic students and their families and friends. As Dr. Olga Kuksenok said, we are here this afternoon to honor some of our best and brightest. Let me thank Dr. Olga Kuksenok and the Honors and Awards Committee members for their tireless work in carefully going through the nominations to identify the best who we honor today. Also, let me make sure that we acknowledge the hard work done by Tracy Dodson behind the scenes. She's not here today, but she has been instrumental typically in conducting these events and everything from securing the nominations and working with the committee. This event, like those over the past 12 months, is being held virtually, but in no way does that dampen our excitement and enthusiasm for this year's honorees. In fact, I applaud our students through this pandemic, the resilience they have showed and the way they have conducted themselves in these more harshest and tiring of times. Hats off to you. Hats off to our faculty and staff who have gone above and beyond to do everything to make this a wonderful experience for our students. These awardees reflect the next generation of engineers and scientists who will take on the grand challenges that include everything from reverse engineering to the brain to producing effective pandemic vaccines. Several of the honorees we'll meet this afternoon have made contributions to helping us cope with a sequestered environment and deal with an online academic delivery system. The questions we need to answer is how we as a community of engineers and scientists who have always been called upon to solve and provide solutions to the next generation of grand challenges can also solve those as basic as access to clean water and electric power. And this becomes so much more important in today's pandemic times. Just think about it. 2 years ago, nobody would have thought about the situation that we see ourselves in. The pandemic has been sort of equalizing in terms of it has impacted every single community across the world. Several of today's honorees are doing some wonderful work that you'll get to hear later on. The solutions they provide will forever define the legacy we leave. And to succeed, we need a new breed of innovative, diverse, and entrepreneurial-minded scientists and engineers. I encourage today's honorees to take on these challenges. Many of the students we are recognizing tonight are engaged in service projects from Clemson to Nicaragua. They're improving the quality of life for countless people all over the world and even here back at home. Their commitment to service is part of Clemson's legacy as a land-grant institution, but their willingness to share and be involved with others came about years before they even heard of Clemson. As a father of two sons, I know that developing that sense of community involvement comes from values instilled in the home. If you are a family member of one of our honorees, I would like to say, congratulations on a job well done. On behalf of everyone here at Clemson University, the staff and faculty, let me thank each one of you. Thank you for putting your trust and faith in us. And equally important, thank you for giving us your tuition dollars. Clearly, honorees, you have had some distinct advantages. Your parents, mentors, and teachers have nurtured your potential and have brought you to this very special place and time. Be thankful for the efforts and the sacrifice. I urge you to continue to be seekers of truth and knowledge and use this knowledge wisely. Make your corner of the world a better place. You represent the best of Clemson, and you will always be the wonderful ambassadors of Clemson. Be appreciative of all who help and guide you. In the end, the mark of an educated woman or man is measured by the contributions that benefit society and how we make people around us feel more fulfilling and happy. We look forward to living in the world you create, exceed our expectations, and thank you for everything you honorees, you students, have done for Clemson.
All of our honorees are outstanding academicians. Many are also accomplished researchers, and most have committed themselves to special service projects. We thought perhaps an introductory video might be a way to let you get to know them a little better. If you would like to share this video with friends and family, you can find a copy on our Facebook page. We will also be sharing other interview excerpts in the coming days.
The main thing that attracted me in Clemson is just the good reputation of its engineering program and just the good academics overall.
Another really key factor in me coming to Clemson was how available undergraduate research was for students.
I knew that Clemson had the resources, but it was the quality of the student body and it was the quality of campus life that really drew me to choose to come here.
Clemson has a program called Peer and Wise, and their mission is to retain students who are minorities in engineering. And no other school that I visited had a program quite like that.
When I was touring a lot of other technical schools, I realized that a lot of them were kind of missing that work-life balance and, an emphasis on the happiness of students. And that's something that I found at Clemson.
Coming to Clemson, you could just feel the different type of atmosphere that was around. It was lively. Everyone was like talking to each other. You would walk past someone and like the tour guide would say like, hey, how are you?
The people were just so friendly and welcoming, and combining that with the fact that Clemson does have such a great engineering program, I knew that it was going to be the best place for me.
I was in chemical engineering previously before I came to Clemson, and I learned about Clemson because of its top-rated programs in engineering.
There was a grant here working on developing and assessing virtual reality field experiences for introductory geology courses, and it was the perfect fit.
Clemson was already the hometown school that everyone talked about, but more than that, I think what really attracted me to Clemson was the abundance of opportunities and the pace at which Clemson was growing.
What really swayed the decision for me was just the beautiful nature and environment around Clemson. I'm a real sucker for the mountains, for the forest, and being able to be outside like you can here at Clemson is just phenomenal. I am studying millstones and trying to determine where the material for the millstones originally came from, and I am advised by Dr. Lazar for that.
I became involved with the interdisciplinary research project between Dr. Thompson Mefford's experimental group and Dr. Rachel Getman's computational group.
My research that's lined up for next semester is with Dr. Kennedy. We are doing 3D manufactured parts using cobalt chromium powder.
I initially got involved with research with Dr. X, who at one class just kind of came up to the front of the classroom and said, "Hey, is anybody interested in doing research with me? This is what I'm kind of working on."
Undergraduate research has been with the Watson and the Watt program, which is led by Dr. Hudson Smith and Dr. Carl Errett. The Clemson family is all of the different communities I have found here in Clemson, from what the sorority I'm in, my church group, and the electrical and computer engineering department.
The Clemson family is something that is very, very true and very, very powerful.
Once you step on campus, you really feel that familial atmosphere.
Those that like to hike, like to rock climb, I've just found an incredible group of friends.
The Clemson family really represents the total body of not only the Clemson student body, but it includes professors and the surrounding community.
The student body, I mean, for every single class, there's been just a sharing of contact information. And I know that, like, especially with PeerWise, my coworkers, I can always reach out to my fellow Clemson students.
Clemson family is kind of equivalent to Clemson Wesley, which is a group through the university that I've been a part of since freshman year. And in this group, I have found amazing friends and amazing opportunities. The most inspiring person I've met at Clemson has to be my current research advisor, Dr. Davis. He has really encouraged me to push beyond the scope of what I think I am capable of doing. And I really think that one has, set me up for success.
That would be my grandpa. He was a Clemson grad. And so growing up, he always was a big proponent of Clemson, and he always pushed me and inspired me to go after and chase my dreams. Really inspired me then in turn to want to go and pursue engineering here at Clemson, since this was one of his favorite schools that he attended. And so despite the fact that he passed away my freshman year here, I still just carry him with me, whether it's through the hallways, going to class, or just around campus, as he just continues to motivate me in all that I do.
Our department head, Dr. Cindy Lee, she really cares about everyone in the department and really wants you to succeed.
My advisor, Dr. Rachel Getman. She is truly an educator and researcher. She's trying to make impact in many ways. Most significant experience for me is to solve one of my research questions. I spent a lot of days in lab developing models and testing the results, but also facing some failures and then start over again. But I'm grateful to have many excellent professors and students to discuss my research problems and help me to figure out the research question.
One of the most significant events of my Clemson career so far has been this opportunity to teach.
The fact that I was chosen a second time, it was really special to me, and I was just very appreciative that my efforts to Clemson and PeerWise have just kind of excelled, and I was able to achieve more than I would have ever imagined as a freshman.
I define success as a 419. And this comes from something that me and my mother used to do in high school. I would run track and I would run the mile. And every time she'd be like, all right, you need to get like a 426 or like a 420. And my friends would hear it and we'd kind of like play around, and then we decided to go 1 second more. And so that's the whole concept and idea of a 419, is beating your best 1 second at a time.
I went with Clemson FIMRIC on a medical mission trip to Nicaragua. In that whole process, I kind of shifted my then academic career focus from wanting to use bioengineering as an opportunity to go to med school to then wanting to really like embrace the idea that is like bioengineering and all that we can do with it.
I was named the first ever from Clemson as a Gates Cambridge Scholar, and so that'll let me have full funding for my master's and PhD degree in nanoscience and nanotechnology. Next step that means for me would be pursuing my graduate degree at the University of Cambridge, and then hopefully pursuing my PhD and then going on from there.
I've actually accepted a position in management consulting with a firm called A.T. Kearney, where I will be starting in August as a business analyst in their Chicago office.
I will be working at Eastman Chemical up in Kingsport, Tennessee, where I will be a process engineer in the chemical process technology group.
I'm going to be moving to Seattle to work for a startup company. There I will be making mobile applications for smart home technology.
I will be continuing on to pursue a PhD at MIT in biological engineering.
I do plan on going into academia, or staying in academia rather, and going somewhere that allows me the opportunity to do research and teach.
I'm still considering going to grad school here at Clemson and getting my master's, but I'm also considering going into industry.
I'm hoping to go into consulting, and then after a few years of consulting, I'd like to get an MBA.
Hopefully I will be going to graduate school and studying paleoclimate or glaciology.
I love doing computational modeling, and I hope I can find a data modeling scientist position in industry.
The MSc department has this really wonderful program called Bachelor's to Master's. So I'll be doing that immediately following, getting my bachelor's.
Now it is my honor and pleasure to introduce Dan Simonescu, the Jerry E. and Harriet Calvert Dempsey Professor of Bioengineering.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? I think you can.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, our first honoree is being recognized with the Samuel B. Earle Award, which is given to the most outstanding senior in engineering based on scholarship and character. Leadership, service, and research are what fuel Maureen Buckley's daily activities and goals. You can see her on the screen now. Hi, Maureen. She actively volunteers for STEM activities she serves as a STEM tutor. She serves in numerous organizations that highlight her dedication to service and support. Her commitment to service was nurtured and strengthened by a medical mission trip to Nicaragua with the Clemson Foundation for International Medical Relief of Children. This trip ignited her passion for using the engineering background and experience to help others, as you heard in the video before. Her global perspective was enhanced by participating in the bioengineering faculty-directed study abroad program in Pamplona, Spain, for 5 weeks. Maureen's research experience began with the sports injury research team, where she explored tendon response to injury, continuing with modeling of cytoskeletal networks. Given the impact of COVID, on the global impact of COVID, she felt a strong responsibility as a bioengineer to support those fighting this novel virus. So she and her team designed devices that help COVID patients recover quicker, receiving the COVID Challenge Excellent Prize Award, which included funding to further develop this device. She also worked on a project looking at response to an EF3 tornado amidst the COVID pandemic, which is really cool. Maureen receives multiple honors, awards, scholarships in the last 3 years, including those from distinguished honor societies. Overall, we can agree that Maureen is indeed outstanding. As she said before, this fall, she will begin working on her PhD at MIT. It is a great honor for us to recognize Maureen Buckley with the 2021 Samuel B. Earle Award. Good job, Maureen. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Maureen.
I now have the pleasure of introducing the Chair of Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering, Dr. David Bruce.
Thank you, Dan. So hopefully everybody can hear me. I'll be introducing two honorees this afternoon, both from my department, the Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering Department. The first of these is the Phi Kappa Phi Certificate of Merit. It's an annual award given to an outstanding student in each college. The recipient of this award must be a graduating senior with at least a 3.4 GPA and have made noteworthy contributions in a number of different areas related to leadership, creative endeavors, and or service to either the department, college, or university. The choice was very easy this year. The honoree their GPA was a slam dunk, and I now see her in the picture there. She was on the president's list for every semester she's been here. She has a 4.0 GPA. And Emily Miller is the recipient of this award. And so you can see her there. She's not only an excellent engineering student in class, she's also very active in numerous leadership roles across campus and when she was working in industry as a co-op student. She has shown a keen interest in outreach activities, many within the department and across the college as well. She's very involved in STEM activities and supporting young women who are interested in engineering and science. She's developed real-world work experience through her on-campus research efforts with multiple faculty in multiple departments, and also in her co-op experiences at Exxon and some other companies. Across multiple semesters, Emily has worked closely with research groups in our department and in environmental engineering and earth sciences to develop and synthesize sustainable materials for building construction that are less expensive. That's largely work she did with Chris Kitchens in our department, Dr. Chris Kitchens. As was mentioned earlier, she's also currently doing research with Dr. Eric Davis, and she also has done work with faculty in environmental engineering, looking at the conversion of microbial fuels or using microbial fuel cells to convert waste into energy. On her co-op experience with ExxonMobil, she led multiple design efforts, being in charge of projects totaling more than $7.5 million. And to say the least, those kinds of experiences are not common for a co-op student who doesn't even have their degree yet. So that speaks highly of her abilities. She was also involved in other leadership activities in industry on projects that totaled more than $34 million in a project involving the expansion of facilities there at ExxonMobil. She also wrote a quarterly review newsletter for ExxonMobil that was sent out to 2,000 employees. The breadth of her leadership and work experience makes Emily one of our most qualified and highly sought after seniors. And I'm looking forward to all the great work she does at Eastman Chemical coming up. But her research that she did within the department both has scholarship activities associated with it. She's appeared in peer-reviewed journal articles, her work has, and she also was heavily involved with an organization here at Clemson called Engineers Without Borders. She led sort of one of the chlorination groups that was helping to develop clean water in Nicaragua. And this safe drinking water will be widely used by a number of people in those communities. And so that not only is good for engineering experience, but it also has real world applications. So I'm very proud that she was able to get involved with that effort. Finally, Emily has helped with multiple STEM activities focused on diversifying the student body, and in particular, helping the next generation of engineers. She's very involved with WISE and helping Girl Scouts get involved with STEM activities and working closely with Dr. Eric Davis on some of those activities within the department. It's always entertaining walking in the building on a weekend and seeing lots of young girls doing engineering activities all throughout the building. So with that, I'll say congratulations, Emily, on receiving the 2021 Phi Kappa Phi Certificate of Merit. Very well deserved. Congratulations.
Well done, Emily.
So I have the honor, as I mentioned earlier, of being able to give out 2 awards. This was a very good year for the Department of Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering. The second award is to one of our graduate students in the department, Dr. Xiaohong Zhang, or soon to be doctor, I should say. She's a doctoral candidate in Dr. Rachel Getman's group. She's the recipient of the Outstanding Graduate Researcher Award. And I was involved with the selection of this award, and her resume is impressive. Having looked at many across the college, her level of performance is exceptional. She's longstanding been working in the simulation area, so she does computational work with Dr. Getman's group. And the nature of her research is quite challenging. She's looking at 2 different scales of modeling. Her molecular dynamics simulations are looking at more atomistic scale and movements of molecules, whereas the quantum simulation scale she looks at is looking at electrons and bond formation. And she's using the combination of these 2 models together to create a multi-scale model of reaction processes that are looking at liquid-solid catalyst interfaces, which is very important for biomass conversion and future generations of energy conversion using water-based systems, a very challenging area. Part of that work involved her working with Clemson's supercomputing facility, and a lot of the simulation packages that she works with, she's had to do an enormous amount of modifications of those to address changes in the equipment that we have at Clemson. We're constantly improving the computer systems, and one of those changes involved the use of graphic processors in her simulations. And by modifying the code so it could make use of these graphic processors, she was able to increase by a factor of 500 the rate at which she was able to do her quantum simulations. And so that enabled not just her, but other members of her group and others outside the group. She made the code public, able to speed up their calculations much, much faster. That means they can answer more scientific questions in a shorter amount of time, which I can promise you for someone who does modeling, that's a very important task. So Xiaohong's productivity comes from her intelligence, her work ethic, her persistence, and her desire to achieve. And I will say she's also had excellent mentoring from her advisor, Dr. Getman. And so they're a wonderful team working together on a lot of these different scientific projects. She reads widely and understands precisely what knowledge gaps exist in the literature, and which allows her to plan research aimed at targeting those gaps. She pays excellent attention to detail and meticulously analyzes and evaluates her results. And she publishes high quality work in excellent journals, and it also gives excellent publications at very well received national conferences in her field. She's already published 7 first or second authored manuscripts, which is extremely impressive for a graduate student to have so many publications. And one of these, in fact, was highlighted on the cover of the Journal of Chemical Theory and Computation. So a very important recognition. She's also given multiple presentations, as I said, at ACS, that's American Chemical Society. And one of those was particularly challenging in that one of the presentations was meant to be given by Dr. Getman, but she was held up because of flight delays, and at the last minute had to get to information to Xiaohong so she could make the presentation in her place. And she did an excellent job. Multiple people commented to that effect. And so her ability to think quickly on her feet, to have a good understanding of not just her research, but of others within her group, shows her ability to understand and convey knowledge that she has gained while at Clemson and from her previous work. And for that reason, I take great pride in recognizing Xiaohong Zhang as the 2021 Outstanding Graduate Research Assistant honoree. Congratulations, Xiaohong.
Thank you, Dr. Bruce.
Congratulations, Dr. Zhang. Wonderful.
So now I'd like to introduce my good colleague, Hai Zhao, and I'll let him make the next presentation.
Thank you, David. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. The Robert W. Moorman Award is given to the most outstanding junior in engineering based on scholarship and character. So you guys see the picture showed up, and guess which one? The 2021 honoree is Catherine Crowe, who is majoring in electrical engineering with a minor in mathematics. As you can imagine, she is an honors student with a perfect GPA, which put her on Clemson University president's list every semester. Her academic excellence is matched by active research pursuits and leadership roles in a number of extracurricular organizations. With respect to research, Catherine has been involved with several artificial intelligence projects through creative inquiry. In conjunction with the Watt Center, she developed the AI-based qualitative analysis techniques for large data sets. She not only performed the research, she also serves as the team leader organizing meetings and maintaining solid communication among the members of the team, and also interfacing with multiple faculty members and the research partners. That part is not easy for a junior student. In another creative inquiry project, Catherine focused on microfluidic biochip research through the mechanical engineering department. She is electrical engineering, okay, by the way, but she's reaching out to mechanical engineering. This cross-disciplinary project required specialized lab work well beyond the confines of her major. She assisted graduate students in analyzing the behavior of particles in non-Newtonian fluids. She has also been a UPIC intern working on additional applications of artificial intelligence and machine learning, focusing on developing visualizations for data from chilled water plants. Catherine has also served in leadership roles beyond the classroom and research lab. As a community council governor in the Residential Housing Association, she worked as the community service chair in WISER, which is the Women in Science and Engineering residential program. She has also been an active member of the Alpha Omega Epsilon sorority, having served on both the ritual and recruitment committees. Catherine's remarkable accomplishment make her exceptional deserving of top recognitions. She received the Outstanding Sophomore in Electrical Engineering Award last year and this year. She's being recognized with the Robert Moorman Award. So Catherine, congratulations. We hope you're gonna stay with us, but we trust that wherever you go, you'll be successful. But remember us.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
So I now have the distinctive pleasure of introducing David Freeman, who is a professor and the chair of environmental engineering and earth science. David?
Thank you. Hi. I have the distinct honor this afternoon to introduce two honorees. The first of them, Annelise Waling. So our college offers a big tent for many degree programs, not just in engineering, but also in computing and applied sciences. Towards that end, one of the college's awards is given to an outstanding senior in CCAS based on scholarship, leadership, service, and other factors demonstrating the recipient's excellence and integrity in any field of computing or applied sciences. So this year, I'm pleased to announce that the winner is Annelise Waling, who is a senior in geology, one of the several applied sciences within the college. Annelise was nominated for this award by Dr. Kelly Lazar, who is an assistant professor with joint appointments in Engineering and Science Education Department and the Department of Environmental Engineering and Earth Sciences. Along with Dr. Adam Smith, who's a curator of the Geology Museum, Dr. Lazar served as co-advisor for Annelise's senior thesis, which focused on unraveling the origin of large stones that are used to mill grain at a local historical site using geochemical fingerprinting and reflectance data. And we got to see a video of that. We got to see a snippet of that in the video. Quoting from Dr. Lazar's letter, I have mentored several undergraduates who have proven themselves to be dedicated and motivated researchers and have gone on to graduate school, yet the tenacity displayed by Ms. Waling, even so early in her collegiate career, has been unmatched. Her academic successes have placed her nearly a year ahead of her peers who entered the program at similar times, and since our first discussions about what she wanted to do after graduation, she made it clear that she was working towards an academic research career. Annelise started at Clemson in the fall of 2018 and will graduate this May, meaning she has accomplished everything she has in only 3 years, unquote. And I'll hasten to add that in addition to a BS degree in geology, Annelise is also going to graduate with a minor in sustainability, and all of this while maintaining a perfect 4.0 GPA. To help support her research, Annelise applied for and was awarded a grant from the Geological Society of America. How many of our undergraduates apply for grants? One of her senior honors, on top of her senior honors thesis, Annelise has participated in research on the use of virtual reality in geological science education with Dr. Lazar, and on construction of a database for absorption of actinides with Dr. Brian Powell. Annelise was one of 4 students selected by the Dean's Office to participate in the 9th Naval Academy Science and Engineering Conference. In recognition of her accomplishments, last year she received the top award for junior in geology, and this year she is winning that award as the top senior. Annelise was also selected as one of Clemson's Goldwater Fellow nominees. And on the leadership side, Annelise has served as the president of Clemson's Geology Club. True to her goal of seeking a career in academia, Annelise is on her way to graduate school this coming fall. Not quite sure where she'll end up yet, but she's got a firm offer already from University of New Hampshire, where she'd be studying climate-related issues. So please join me in congratulating Annelise Waling as this year's winner of the SICAS Outstanding Senior in Applied Sciences.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, as I said, I have the honor of introducing 2 awardees this afternoon. The next one is the Outstanding Graduate Teaching Assistant Award, which honors a GTA recognized by the faculty, the students, and fellow graduate teaching assistants as being exemplary in undergraduate teaching. Leah Wiitablake is the teaching assistant that all instructors dream of. She is independent, motivated, extremely knowledgeable in her subject area, and well-grounded in teaching pedagogy. Though times were challenging, Leah made the transition to online instruction incredibly smoothly, and she had a major impact on students, their education, and even their emotional health. Leah is ideally suited to teach structural geology, widely considered the most challenging course in the undergraduate geology curriculum. Nearly all introductory geology courses require in-person, hands-on laboratory sessions. That's what geology is, it's about being hands-on, right? At least until Leah started teaching. She worked tirelessly to both modify the labs themselves to be delivered in an online format, and then she taught her students how to complete the lab successfully. Leah is getting her PhD in engineering and science education, as she indicated in the video, and this is a shout out to Dr. Cindy Lee, who's the chair of that department. So teaching is truly one of Leah's passions. She developed a pre and post lab questionnaire for students to gather empirical data on how much they were learning from each lab. After completing the assessments, she always shared the comparisons with the students in order to motivate and assure them that even if the labs were difficult, they really were in fact learning the material. For many of them, this was the first time a TA demonstrated a concern for making sure they were developing a sound understanding of the content. Despite her heavy workload, she always was more than happy to schedule an office hour whenever her students needed one. More than anything, Leah herself always remained optimistic and upbeat. That was a challenge in this last year. 2020 was incredibly challenging for everyone, so having a fresh, happy person to talk to every week made a huge difference to her students and her colleagues. It is a great pleasure to recognize Leah Wiitablake as the Outstanding Graduate Teaching Assistant for 2021. Congratulations, Leah.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful.
All right, now I'm going to turn the program over to Kevin Tafe, the Harriet and Jerry Dempsey Professor and Interim Chair of Industrial Engineering. Kevin, take it from here.
Great. Thank you, David. The Jacquelwyn Willis Anthony Award is presented to a student who for distinguished service to peer. It was established by alumna Janine Anthony Bowen in honor of her mother. Makenna Lee's first involvement with Peer and Wise came in the summer of 2017 when she participated in the Peer Wise experience. This 3-week optional introductory program offers a glimpse into what freshman year will be like. Since then, Makenna has been heavily involved in peer activities and outreach. For the past 2 years, she has been a peer mentor to 11 freshmen. She strives to make sure that her mentees are aware of and utilize all the resources available to them. She encourages them to strive for excellence in the classroom, and she holds study sessions for the common exams. Makenna has participated in many of the peer-wise outreach programs like STEM Day, See Clemson, and Peer Snapshot Day. The latter is geared towards letting middle school age students learn about career opportunities available in STEM careers. She volunteers with the Paw Pantry and is also very active with her sorority, Delta Sigma Theta, known for its community outreach. She currently serves as vice president and the chapter chair of technology. As an industrial engineering major, Makenna has conducted research in the Ergonomics and Applied Statistics Research Lab, focused on human factors in healthcare and driving transportation safety. She was also chosen to do research abroad with the Industrial Engineering Department at Saarland University in Germany, where she was part of a team conducting wind energy research. Makenna has also completed an internship with Dell Technologies as a global operations intern. After graduation, she'll be joining Kearney as a business analyst in their Chicago office. Makenna's academic achievements and dedication to empowering underrepresented students in STEM make her the clear choice to be the 2021 Jacquelwyn Willis Anthony Award honoree. Congratulations, Makenna, on a job well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations, well done.
Next, allow me to introduce the next presenter, Kyle Brinkman, who is the chair of Materials Science and Engineering. Kyle.
Thank you, Kevin. I'm also introducing two speakers this evening. The first award is the J. Wesley Davis Leadership Award, which recognizes outstanding senior engineering student with incredible scholarship leadership in an engineering student organization. This year's honoree succeeds in all three of these areas. So beginning with his freshman year, where he was in the Eureka Research Program, Venkata Anish Chaluvadi began a research journey that took him from biomolecular engineering, where he was producing biofuels and pharmaceutical products, all the way to the world of computational materials science. I have to say that I had Anish in an honors class last semester, and I was just blown away by his undergraduate research work. This work has resulted in 2 co-authored manuscripts, presentations at 4 research conferences, both at the local, national, as well as the regional level. In addition to his academic initiatives, he's taken leadership roles in the Clemson community. Anish has been an assistant coach for the local elementary schools, where he participated helping out elementary students in the first Lego League robotics, which gave him an opportunity to use some of his skills he learned at Clemson in our local community, helping our STEM outreach efforts. In 2019, he co-founded a sustainability organization here at Clemson. It's called Tigers for Green Innovation. It's focused on bringing together interdisciplinary majors to engineer solutions to a number of sustainability issues that we face on campus. Last year, he helped launch the Project Point of Purchase. It's a sustainability initiative with the city of Clemson. And this initiative will launch a phased pilot test program of single-use plastic bans starting next year in 2022. As president of the Indian Cultural Association, he's focused on building collaborative events with other organizations on campus. These include Asian Student Association, the Muslim Student Association, and as well as working with the Gantt Multicultural Center. He truly believes in the importance of connecting with each other, breaking down barriers through education and involvement. He's also developed a broad global perspective. You'll hear about this. This is a common theme. Through the Dixon Global Policy Scholars Program, he's visited Europe, Germany, and France, where he learned about the history of Western development. And through debate, he visited South Africa, Thailand, as well as Hungary. And soon he will be traveling again. Anish was recently named the Gates Cambridge Scholar. This is the very first Clemson University student that was honored with this award. Big, big honor. This will allow him to pursue graduate study in nanoscience and nanotechnology at the world-leading University of Cambridge in the UK. So it gives me just an incredible pleasure to recognize Venkata Anish Chaluvadi with the 2020 J. Wesley Davis Leadership Award. Huge congratulations, Anish.
Thank you.
The second award this evening is the Robert W. Snelsire Diversity Prize, which honors the memory of Dr. Bob Snelsire. He was a professor of electrical engineering, and he was a champion of underrepresented students across our college. The 2021 honoree is Evs Renee Evans, whose positive attitude and dedication to student success has led her to being hired as a WISE student mentor. The WISE mentoring program connects freshmen and transfer students in our college with upperclassmen with the same or a similar major. Evs is currently in her third semester, where she provides academic as well as social guidance to a group of 10 freshman girls. She encourages collaboration and provides invaluable information about how you can really become a successful student by developing things like study habits and time management skills. Beyond her academic engagement, she mentors social activities and professional activities throughout the fall and spring. Evs has applied her leadership and academic skills to an internship opportunity recently with L3 Harris Technologies, where she worked with a team dealing with supply chain logistics. Her advocacy of women in science and engineering residence experience has helped the college achieve 100% occupancy in its living and learning community. Just a great achievement. Evs has impressed her peer colleagues as she worked with her mentee group, navigating all of the challenges that they faced in this past year associated with COVID. With kindness and grace, she helped them succeed through sharing coping strategies and encouragement and being positive throughout the entire pandemic. Evs, with your thoughtful and articulate reflections, you truly encompass both the celebration of diversity and stewardship of inclusion. It's my great pleasure to recognize Evs Evans as the winner of the 2021 Robert W. Snelsire Diversity Prize. Congratulations, Evs.
Congratulations, Evs.
Thank you.
Our next presenter is Dr. Atul Kelkar, who's the D.W. Reynolds Distinguished Professor and Department Chair of Mechanical Engineering.
Thank you, Kyle. Curiosity, enthusiasm, and perseverance are the hallmarks of a successful researcher. This year's outstanding undergraduate researcher, Adam Kummetz, possesses all of these three. Adam began his research journey with one of our full professors, Dr. Xiaohong Chuan, conducting experiments on continuous flow trapping and separation of microparticles using a cavity microchannel. His contributions resulted in his being named third author of both a conference presentation and an article in a very reputed journal, namely Journal of Applied Physics Letters. He is now working with Dr. Adlan Wahidi on connected vehicle research. The goal of this work is to determine whether the introduction of connected vehicles into a valid vehicle network has a positive impact on fuel efficiency, resulting in a lowering of greenhouse gas emissions. Adam is also using his scientific background and training in real-world situations. He has completed 2 co-op rotations in the engineering services group at Electrolux and will be undertaking a third this summer. He is gaining experience in a variety of manufacturing operations as well. For example, he has programmed a robot to test whether a current production process can be effectively automated, and he is investing ways to expand an inventory management system. When Adam is outside the lab and away from the classroom, he is active as well. He is active in Chi Phi fraternity and is serving as vice president. He is also currently in first place in Wall Street South, a student stock market challenge, for which he built a Python code application to scrape and collect data on sites such as Yahoo Finance, Nordstrom, and NASDAQ. That's interesting. Adam also provides recreational outings for some of the participants in Clemson Life, the university's program that prepares young men and women with intellectual challenges for competitive employment and independent living. Students like Adam are making Clemson's undergraduate research programs successful with their positive energy and imagination. I'm extremely excited to recognize Adam Kummetz as the outstanding undergraduate researcher for 2021. Congratulations, Adam. We're proud of you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kelkar. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Now I'm excited to introduce my colleague, Amy Epon, the C. Tycho Howell Director of the School of Computing.
Thank you, Atul. They have saved the best for last. The Blue Key Academic and Leadership Award recognizes one student in each of the 7 colleges at Clemson who has distinguished him or herself in academic scholarship and campus leadership. Joshua Norman has certainly distinguished himself academically. He has completed a total of 133 hours with a perfect GPA of 4.0. He is expected to graduate in May with a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. He has held leadership positions in a number of organizations here at Clemson. He was the outreach chair for Clemson's chapter of Theta Tau, the professional engineering fraternity. In that role, he has helped plan and participate in STEM outreach programs targeting middle and high school students. From August 2017 to the present, Joshua has served as the president of Clemson's Calculus Fight Club. He leads review sessions covering calculus exercises, applications, and test-taking strategies for over 250 Clemson students. Joshua also worked with Clemson's Academic Success Center, overseeing the Peer Assisted Learning, or PAL program. He helped PAL leaders develop effective and collaborative sessions for teaching study skills that students can use throughout their college careers. Joshua has also participated in undergraduate research experiences on campus. He has worked with Dr. Brig Ulmer in the Tangible Visualization Group, where last summer he helped design models of clear face masks with embedded microphones to help professors be heard more clearly while teaching. Joshua was an undergraduate teaching assistant with Dr. Chris Plowey in the School of Computing. He provided instruction to 40 students twice a week, covering algorithms, data structures, and smartphone application development in C++ and Java. He has shown leadership, scholarship, and community impact in ways that will leave an indelible impact at Clemson University and nearby communities. In short, he is well deserving of the 2021 Blue Key Academic and Leadership Award. Joshua, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And it is now my pleasure to again recognize our Dean, Anand Grabapati.
Thank you, Amy. Can you all hear me? Wow, what can I say about today's award winners? I can say one thing, I want to be like them. It's just amazing. I didn't do all this stuff when I went to school, okay? And when I hear not only what you have achieved, but the way you have helped others throughout the whole process, don't change that. Because there will be others who will always need your help. And that helping hand goes a long way. And the way you have conducted yourself through these most challenging of pandemic times, hats off to each one of you. We are proud of you that we, the faculty, the staff, were part of your journey. You're the best ambassadors for Clemson. As you go and achieve greater laurels, we will always be thankful that we had a small role to play in your education. And we will cheer you along every step of the way. And with that said, the most important part in this journey has been your parents and friends through this whole process. Let me thank each one of them for entrusting your wonderful child to us. They, after all, didn't do too bad. We are so proud of you. And what can I say? Go Tigers. Be safe, stay well, and keep connected. We want you to be very, very successful, so successful that you will come and start companies, become CEOs, and they'll send a lot of money back to Clemson University. Take care. Bye now. Thank you, parents. Thank you, Olga.
Everyone.
Congratulations, everyone.